So it was one of you guys that said to me in the comments that you like the adventure boat concept, but you don't want an adventure just to go to the toilet. So that's possibly when you need to look at a boat like this. So ladies and gents, welcome to the Fjord 39XL, a brand new model from the Hansa Group. Also available in an XP. So this is the inboard version. We're going to do a very detailed tour on this boat today, and quite a lot of super clever ideas that I've discovered both at the boat show and now taking the boat for a drive. I was going to do a super detailed test drive for you, but I bloody lost my drone. So I'm going to have to do that another day, and hopefully by the time you watch this, I will have resolved that and you'll get the great shots. I don't know what happened. That's a first for me, but there you go. So if you are the sort of person who's looking for perhaps your first super luxury day boat, maybe you're coming up from a smaller boat, or you are actually already owning a large boat and you want something super convenient for just you and your family to use, that's when you should focus your attention on something like this Fjord 39. And these guys were the originals in terms of the luxury day boat scene. They really do own a lot of this market space, and some of their ideas are quite class leading. And I'm going to start with one of them, and that's this roof, because check this out. And I know a lot of you guys in Australia and Miami, and now I've even been watching some of you in the comments here in Europe appreciating extra protection from the sun, because it's not only sun protection, it's rain protection, and it just means having a roof that stretches pretty much the full beam and all the way out to the back here, the permanent roof structure. It really means you can extend your day, because if you want the sun, no problems, come out here and we'll go forward, and there's a beautiful sun lounge as well. But it's just not always practical to have that much sun for so many people on board, or comfortable. You know, if you're older, you've got a few skin cancers, that sort of thing. This is a really, really great feature. But we'll start out here at the back of the boat and we'll go through everything that we can. Got the aft facing sun lounge. This is, like all Fjords, it's a bit of a multifunctional area. So you can sit like this. I like having this stainless grab rail here, because when you do accelerate, this boat is a pretty quick boat. You want to feel secure. So it's nice to be able to put your feet just there, but you can also extend the space and do that there. So that gives you all that extra leg room there, and people can hang around. They've done some nice features here with the big drink holder there, mood lights that pop up on both sides, surrounded in teak. Pretty cute. Underneath this is a very convenient storage space. So this will come up electrically, and we operate it using those buttons just over there on the port side, and the two stainless buttons, and that gives us access to extra fender storage for the covers, which go over all the individual seats and the tables, and you protect them all. Quite easy to install, and it's easier than putting one massive cover, because if the wind catches one big cover, that can be hard to manage. Whereas when you got small covers, 1, 2, 3, you can do them on a windy afternoon, which I know we get a lot of that sort of conditions in Sydney, and it can be awkward. So that's all pretty cool. I can see we've got the Fjord logo, looks nice in stainless out the back here, and we've got a fixed swim platform on this particular model. So if you went for the XP version, that's outboards, it's going to be different, because you're going to have the outboards here, and you're going to have two small swim platforms on either side. And I know many of you want this connection with the sea, as you can see right now, and you want to use this for setting up your toys and for swimming and lounging and doing what we're doing right now. So that's when you go for the inboard. And over here on the starboard side is where we would deploy the swim ladder, which stores just below here. However, we got the super cool one, which is incorporated with the passerelle. And I'm going to make an argument that this might even be of a benefit to some of you guys outside of Europe now. It's so cool. Obviously it comes out and operates in the passerelle function, but it will also lower down into the water now, and it provides a really, really good stairway back onto your boat coming out of the water. It's very, very nice. So right now, this hatch here is just access into the passerelle. If you didn't option the passerelle, it's going to be a small storage space, good for ropes and small items like that. We've got the traditional Fjord kid and doggy door just there in large stainless, and we've got the pop-up cleats, and they are got the Fjord embossed logo in there, and you've got rope protectors around them on either side. We've got real teak along the gunnels here and teak here. I'm pretty sure you can also option these with the fake teak if you wish. Got some drawer fridges on either side just here. And then we've got our entertainment space. So this can operate like so. So that's a good grab handle. Then you've got some drink holders just there and there. It does also allow for people to get up and move around a little bit. And it's also somewhere to feel secure when you're going fast. And then over on this side, we've got, that's a manual operated bilge pump just there. We've got the speakers just here. These are the high quality. I'm pretty sure they are Fusion speakers. So we've got Fusion here and here, and a subwoofer midships just there. But before I get there, I'm going to operate these seats as well, because like all Fjords, you've got the option to sit facing forward when you're going fast, and then when you want to sit it or set it up for lunch operation, you can do that. So that's really good. And I also forgot to mention that this, generally, there's another way that you can do it. I think it's like this. There you go. So that's now kind of like a pillow. So if you want to have a nap in the sun, you can do. We've got the Shore Shade, which electrically deploys from here. It's not super visible because it's black, but when that's deployed, we have shade protection all the way out across the whole rear sun lounge. And then we've got down lights over the tables just here in the seats here. So if you are doing some al fresco dining of an evening, this can all still be illuminated. And you can generally do some optional deck lights. I don't see it on this one, but I have seen them on plenty of Fjords, so I would assume that's still possible on this model. Then we come here into the heart of the boat. It's kind of what you guys would all be using a boat like this for, because the people who typically buy a Fjord are sunshine boaters, like most of us are, to be fair. But you're going to come out to places like this on a nice day, and on the shitty days, you're at home or you're doing something else, or you're off skiing, enjoying the fantastic life that you already do. So this is your entertainment station or your picnic station, and you can generally option these with barbecues. We've got a workspace here. Yes, there is glass on this one. It's just not currently installed on this particular boat. This is the prototype, the first hull. So there's a couple little changes here and there, which I'll point out as we make our way through. Got the isotherm fridge just there, and then we've got some drawers for storage in here, and then underneath here we've got some more drawers, and you can probably do a cooker on this one if that's important to you. Remember, a boat like this is just going to be great for taking to the cafes as well, so decide if that is important to you or not. Over here on the starboard side, I've got the operation for the sunshade. I've got the table up down if I option that for this boat, and also various lights and courtesy lights can all be operated from this panel over here on the starboard side. We've got the typical Fjord fenders that you would expect to see on all of these boats. Great for Mediterranean style mooring. You just tie them here and here and hang them over the side. In Australia or America, maybe not so useful. That's where you would use your traditional fenders and store them in the back storage locker, because then you only have to tie one rope and hang it over the side. It's a lot easier. Or your dock's already going to be set up with some pro fender, so you don't even have to worry about that in the first place. Got waste out here, and what's over here on the other side? Water in on this side. Before I get to the helm, I better show you the engine access. It's quite unique on this one. So that hinges up, and we get straight down in there to the motors. I'll cut to that at the end of the video in some more detail and take you through, because I think you're probably more interested in the accommodation. So underneath me right here, on the port side is access to the midships technical space. So if you were to do things like generators, possibly gyros, that's going to be in this location, I would assume. And you've also got a little bit more storage as well. And then let's get our attention here onto the helm. I better tell you straight away, there are some changes happening to this helm. So they did notice that there wasn't enough space here for a driver, unless you're like super skinny and, you know, or they designed it for bikini babes, put it that way. Not for blokes. So there's not enough space right now. It is changing. The seats are going back and the dash is changing and the throttle position is going to be a little bit more ergonomic. Apart from that, it's a lot of clean lines, simple display for the dash, good viz over the dash there for your sight lines forward. And I've got my Volvo Penta diagnostics here, my joystick there, a phone storage area here with a drain, 2 drink holders on either side, VHF, chain counter, space if you were going to have a seat keeper just there, your operation for your digital start stop for the motors. So it's all pretty logical and clean with a couple of more small improvements coming. And then we've got some buttons up the top here for anchor up, down, release, and then various navigation lights and a stereo just there. That's a good spot for that. Now the windscreen, you actually have a choice on which windscreen you want on these Fjords. So you can have the open style like this, or you can have a fully enclosed one. So just think about what part of the world you're in. I know in Florida, for example, where it's pretty hot all the time, you guys like to have the fresh air blowing in your face. So consider that. Whereas here in Europe, you know, on the off season, that's not going to be fun. Middle of summer, it's going to be okay. So consider that. Same thing in Sydney. So it can still get cold in the winter. So you're not necessarily going to want the wind in your hair. So just consider that before ordering. And this glass here, again, there's going to be some minor changes to the design of this in future models because they just decided this protrusion here wasn't so practical for grabbing on to that handle, which I think makes a lot of sense. But this design element here is a bit of a statement piece. It's wrapping the windscreen and it's also complementing the aft pillars, which obviously holds the roof up. So that's, I think, you know, going to be one of the most obvious features when you're going past at speed on other people, to put this boat aside from some of the other Fjords or day boats that you've seen before. Come up and have a look at the sun lounge. So a couple of differences on this area now. The sun lounge is lower. It's kind of got a nice style to it with the stainless steel and the timber armrests on the side just there. And I guess it gives you a little bit of wind or privacy protection, because if I'm lying down here, it is windy right now. Okay, it's pretty much, I'm out of the wind just now, just because I'm set down a little bit and I have just a little bit of privacy from other people looking at me if I was deciding to have a nap up here. So that may or may not be important to you, but it also stops any air wanting to pull this cushion up here when we're at speed. And we did drive across here at full speed, and that, see how it's not even secured at the moment, didn't even blow up. Wasn't a problem at all because there's no wind interfering with it, so that was fine. Pop-up cleats just here and here. We've got our LED navigation lights and courtesy or mood lights that pop up here. We can operate the anchor using these buttons here, and instead of going for the complicated anchor deployment systems which we see on the bigger Fjords and even the older Fjords, we just have a simple barrel roller. So come and have a look at this. I do like that because I think for many of you, this is going to be your first luxury day boat, and it's just one less thing to operate. So all we have here, quick anchor windlass, gravity feed, nice and simple, nothing's going to go wrong with that. And it's just one less thing for you to think about in terms of the operation of your boat. So when you're coming into anchor, you don't have to add that extra step. So this is going to be the base for the carbon fiber poles, which give you the sun protection forward. So we have the shore shade aft, and then we have the 2 poles forward, and they just clip onto the top of the roof. You've got a couple of stainless steel mounting points there. So they're going to be at about this height. So I suspect you can still stand underneath that sunshade, but obviously it's for sitting on this area just here. This Windscreen at the moment is temporary. It was for the boat show. Because this is a prototype, they didn't finish the glass in time to get it to Mallorca. So don't consider this as the final product. It's actually going to be glass with a Fjord logo, blacked out on the bottom, and glass up here like you would expect. Let's keep it going. Got a couple of drains just here. That's going to stop any water coming aft and then wetting your feet, which is good on a cold day. Storage underneath the helm seats, and obviously, like a lot of the Fjords, they will go up and down to give you the options there. But let's just go downstairs because it is still an overnight boat. We've got a decent amount of accommodation for 2 people, and we've got some differences in terms of the styling. So we've gone for this lighter finish. We've got some textured fiberglass here, but textured materials and leather here. And then just come in here and get a feel for the space, because you've got a proper bed. So this opens for ventilation, that opens for ventilation, and same again on that side. So even if you don't choose air conditioning, you should still be able to vent this area pretty well, but you are completely private because these windows don't go out to the sea, and neither does that one. So it's just going to be a comfortable space for you to relax, and no one's going to see you. Plenty of space just here. I can even sort of sit up in bed. They've got the reading lights here. Maybe the idea is for you to lie this way. And does that work? You know, yeah, I guess it does. I guess it does. You can make that work. We've got a ledge on either side. We've got charging for phones. Same again on this side. Got some small speakers. In here, we've got hanging for clothes, and you can put some underwear and swimmers in there. And then we've got a small little convenient space just over here. I'll actually film it because you've got little drawer fridge and just a space to put things, hold drinks, charging. You've got the panel just here, your battery operation, master vault, and that allows the lights to get super cool, change color, and do all sorts of things. But before we finish up, I better show you the separate shower, because on a boat of this size, a lot of boats are not going to have that, which I think is really, really cool. So if you are going from port to port and you want to get changed before you go out for dinner, now it's possible. You don't have to have a shower on the back of the boat or on top of your toilet. So that's kind of handy. We've got a shower screen here. This is just a textured fiberglass finish. It is one of these showers, but we've got a ventilation above my head to let out any steam, and here, and that's frosted glass for privacy. Nice big mirror there. Simple but operational vanity area. Operate the lights, storage underneath here. It all kind of works, doesn't it? So that's kind of cool. Let's go have a look at the engine bay. So come on down, guys. I'm going to show you the engine space. She's a tight space, this one, but I might as well give you a tour. There's your fuel filters, fireboy system, power distribution, and batteries on the starboard side. You've got hydraulics and then the motors here. You can see all the insulation, more hydraulics, port aft. So I believe on the future models they are going to do top access, but right now we don't have it, so you are limited for space down here. You've got this flooring just here to operate on. I don't think any of you are ever going to come down here because you're going to have a mechanic to do this for you, but just it is worth pointing that one out. So that's the boat, ladies and gents. Jump into the comments and let me know what you think. Come up to the bow. Let's get in the sun because it's still moderately cold, actually. I really enjoy getting first access to a lot of these boats and even the prototypes like this, because it's quite fun to get in and look at ideas and the clever uses of small spaces. You know, it's not small space. I'm just referring to boats in general. So do comment, talk to me, and if you are wanting to buy one of these boats, get in and join the Patreon and talk to me over there, because that's where I can answer a lot of your questions and talk to you about some of the ideas, improvements, all that sort of stuff. That's a great place to have those conversations. So I guess I'm going to have to go to the shops now and buy a new bloody drone and give you guys a test drive. So hopefully by the time you're watching this, it's happened and you can click up on the video right here or here and come for a drive with me. If it's not available at the time of watching. You'll just have to subscribe, like, and keep watching and watch it when it is available. Love you lots. You're all legends. I'll see you on the next one.